Let's get this out of the way. I see some radicchio in here.
Yeah. So I just wanted to bring a radicchio in case people didn't know what it was.
Okay.
Because when I was at the market, the checker said, "Oh, is this a baby red cabbage?" And I said, "No, not really.
No.
Not really." So it has
Far
that
from it, actually.
that nice sharp taste to it.
So you've got radicchio and spinach.
And some organic spinach.
And you know what's nice with this too, really quick? I mean, you can almost use this. It doesn't have to necessarily be in a salad. You can cut this, and this is really good grilled. Really, really
Delicious.
good on the grill.
And I also, because the leaves, you know, they make those perfect little cups when you're able to peel them off nicely. You can always have them as a little placeholder for, you know, a dip or something like that.
Almost like endive or endive. You can do the same thing. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Very nice. Okay.
So I'm going to this is so simple. So it's just your spinach or radicchio. Spinach is one of the vegetables that you will always buy organic.
Yeah.
There's a list of ingredients. They're called the Dirty Dozen.
Okay.
And they'll always test highest for pesticide residue. So spinach is definitely one of those.
Is it the way that the chemical infiltrates the leaf or the vegetable itself? Some are more resistant to it. Is that?
What happens is when we think about our food, you have to think, where does our food get its nutrients from?
Sure.
And it's coming directly from the soil.
ground.
So even if it was something that you could wash off, it's now in the cells of your plant.
Gotcha.
These are 2 navel oranges that I just cut, took the pith and the part of the membrane out.
You cut them in
now,
supremes?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you wanted to really bump up the vitamin C and the calcium, what you're going to do is you're actually going to leave the pith on. The white part. It doesn't look as pretty, but that's where most of the vitamin C and almost all the calcium is.
You know, my dad always said that, so he was right.
Yes,
Dad
was
okay.
right.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to eat a little crow.
Okay. No, you're just gonna eat
But
salad.
this tastes better, Dad.
Okay, so we're gonna make the dressing, and this is really simple.
All right.
We're just using some orange juice concentrate,
Okay.
and then a little bit of apple juice concentrate.
Okay, and why like orange juice concentrate as opposed to fresh squeeze? You're just trying to build a little body to it?
Yeah. So
Okay.
if all you have is fresh oranges, absolutely use that. But this will just, we're not gonna add any other sweetener to this.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is some balsamic vinegar.
All right.
Use the best that you can afford is my suggestion.
Absolutely, especially in a raw application like that.
And then this is just some coarse gray sea salt. And I do think that the different types of salt really do lend to different flavors. The other thing is, the grayer your salt, the more minerals. Yeah.
Absolutely, because it's actually coming from the ocean as opposed to being mined underground or in a factory somewhere.
So also, when we get sea salt that's just evaporated, we're also not, they don't have to add the flowing agents. So this is really pure.
Gotcha. Okay, it's just scraped after the water evaporates. Got it.
Okay. So all we're going to do is just toss this with my dressing.
Okay.
Just give that a quick stir.
So orange juice concentrate, apple juice concentrate, balsamic vinegar.
And salt.
And salt.
Yeah.
Not even any oil in this.
No.
But look how viscous it is.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, you've substituted, you've taken out the fat, and but you've kept the viscosity by using those thicker. I'm sure purees, any sort of purees would work really nicely too.
Play with it, make it your own.
Okay.
And then some sesame seeds, and you can use the black or the white. I just like the black because it just looks prettier.
Prettier for sure.
More interesting.
Yeah, no, looks
And
great.
then it's totally fine just the way it is, but I like to add some sun-dried cranberries.
Love those.
Oh, they're
Love
so
those.
good. So make it a little more of an antioxidant salad that way.
Sure, sure. And just adding a little bit more of a flavor profile, you know, creating more of a flavor profile, I should say.
Yeah, and then if you aren't concerned about fat, and if you love nuts, I think some almonds, pine nuts, cashews, those would all be fabulous on this salad.
Yeah. Like, I don't think you could go wrong.
Okay, let's do a couple more oranges on the top. And then I would just tear some fresh basil on this. Basil just brightens
Makes everything taste.
I know.
Makes everything taste better.
Yeah.
How are we looking over here?
Let's see.
Okay, so we're starting to like come to a simmer here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is what we want. Oh man, I just got a rush of vegetable flavor or smells. That's awesome.
All right, so I'm going to just do a little bit of fresh ground pepper on this one.
Okay. Yeah, pepper doesn't hurt anything, does it?
No, pepper makes everything taste better. And then a little bit of salt.
Okay. And more of that gray salt?
Yeah, more of my gray salt.
And you know what I noticed too is that when you use like a more flavorful salt like that, you end up using less, and you're not salting at the table. I mean, is that something? I mean, I don't even have a salt shaker at my table at home.
Well, I always try and remind people too that we're really never salting our food. We're trying to salt to open up our taste buds so we receive our flavor, and people just have it backwards. So I always encourage people, taste your food first, see if it even needs it, and then go a little bit at a time.
And the iodized stuff that's so finely ground I mean, you never really know how much you add, and then by the time you get it where you want it, it becomes too salty like that.
I know.
So.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave the top off now and let it go for about 2 more minutes. And then we can start blending up our green tea smoothie.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. You know what? I just saw some forks arrive.
Okay.
I want to taste that salad.
Okay.
Go for it. Ladies first.
Thank you.
So, tell me a little about some of the success stories. I mean, you work with people who are preventing and dealing with cancer.
It's the most fulfilling job I've ever done.
I can imagine.
You know, people can lower their cholesterol. They can just, educate their own families. You know, if they have a history of heart disease or diabetes, they can be the educated spokesperson for their family and get people to make healthier choices. And I think the baby steps are important too.
Have you seen reversals? I mean, people who've been diagnosed with cancer and then they help their case with this?
The way that I got started with the Cancer Project is my best friend, her father had been diagnosed with stomach cancer and given 6 months to live.
Oh, God.
And they just said, just make him comfortable and eat whatever he can hold down.
Right.
So she had reached out to me. And
By the way, this is great. I don't mean to interrupt this story, but this is fantastic. And really quickly, you know what? Earthiness from the spinach, slight bitterness from the radicchio, and then sweetness from your dressing and the oranges.
Good.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great.
Now we're both munching.
I know, right? We got to time that differently.
Oh, no. So her parents came to my class, sat in the front row. They took copious notes, made everything I prepared. And it's now been 4 years. He's alive and cancer-free. If he had listened to the doctors, so I really attribute it to Dr. Neil Bernard, the Cancer Project, and that good information.
Okay, that's great. I mean, it only makes sense. You know, I mean, it's so important, everything that we put into our bodies. So, I mean, the fact that positive results are being seen by completely taking out. I mean, tell me a little bit about what some of the key components are. I know you're lowering fat.
You want to lower your fat.
Raise fiber, maybe?
Yeah, you want your fat to be under 30 to 35 grams.
Right.
You want your fiber to be over 30 to 35 grams.
All right, so 35.
Yeah, most Americans only get 10 grams of fiber. That's really why one of the big reasons we have the highest incidence of diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. If we could just get those fiber points up, soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber will be anything
Which
like
you absorb and
oatmeal. You know, that's helping lower your cholesterol. And then, things like corn and salad greens and all those, the roughage, that's what's going to move the toxins
now
from our
you
body.
have this beautiful, I'm not going to call it I'm not going to call it a blender because I called it a blender before we started taping here, and that is a nutritional system.
Yes.
And yeah, you know what, when you look at it, that is a nutritional system. This is a very, very nice nutritional system at that.
I actually had one of my students looked at this and she said, I think you could probably save a life with that machine.
Yeah,
I said,
I know.
absolutely.
I know.
So I just started off with some rice milk for our green tea smoothie. Rice milk, you could use anything, soy milk, almond milk, whatever you want. Rice milk is really similar to skim milk, so most people can embrace
what I
it.
find interesting, you are not a vegan.
No.
How do you describe your diet?
Plant-based.
Plant-based. And the difference is?
That I do still wear leather shoes. You know, I carry a leather purse. It's perfectly good. I'm not going to get rid of it. But I want to live, so I think eating fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes is really how to preserve yourself.
I like, though, that you differentiate that because you know, I know a lot of people who are saying I'm vegan, but they've got leather products.
Yeah.
And, well, okay.
So you're not.
Right. So you are plant-based.
I'm plant-based.
I love it. I love it. So rice milk, soy milk, anything except
dairy.
Dairy. Okay.
Yeah. And dairy is really just one of the worst things out there for you. It contributes to so many allergies, mucus. You know, 25% of people are lactose intolerant, but 100% of people are casein intolerant. That's the protein in milk. Okay. So we're going to make this super antioxidant rich. This is green tea.
Just brewed green tea?
Yeah, I just brewed some green tea. And this
Oh,
is
wow.
so refreshing. I thought it was, a really interesting combination when I saw it the first time.
And
but
a lot of antioxidants
oh,
in green tea, right?
Oh, huge,
And
huge,
in
huge.
berries.
And the berries that we're going to add. So this is strawberries, blueberries, and then I have just the pomegranate
Pomegranate.
pomegranate arils.
Okay.
Just the
Right.
inside. Yeah.